Some of us have been patiently waiting on XDefiant, while others have completely wrote it off, saying that it missed its mark. So what's happening with XDefiant? If this is your first time here and you dig the content, consider subscribing. We are chasing down our first 1,000 subs here on the channel, so let's make it happen. If you've been in tune with the FPS community for even just a couple of years, you know what XDefiant is. But in case you don't, XDefiant, formerly known as Tom Clancy's XDefiant, is a free-to-play first-person shooter video game developed by Ubisoft San Francisco. XDefiant is currently in development and is set to release on PlayStations 4 and 5, Xboxes One, Series X and S, and PC. The last generation consoles being Xbox One and PS4 may not get XDefiant until later on after it launches. Now that we know what XDefiant is, let's talk about what's going on. XDefiant full release date is before March 31st, Ubisoft sales update reveals. Weird way to announce a release window, but we'll take what we can get. Ubisoft's recent investor meeting revealed unannounced information about the arrival of XDefiant. The shooter is slated to release sometime during the company's fiscal fourth quarter, which ranges from January to March 2024. As a result, the new shooter could be available sooner than most may have anticipated. When is the XDefiant release date? According to the Ubisoft recent third quarter sales update, XDefiant will be available sometime before March 31st, listed along with 9 other Ubisoft titles as an upcoming digital release for the current quarter. This is the first we've seen of a release window for the shooter. It's titled as XDefiant Season 0, which tells us it could be considered early access. The update says XDefiant will come to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series S and X. Other titles coming from Ubisoft during the same window include Skull and Bones Season 1, plus new seasons of The Division 2, Rainbow Six Siege, and The Crew. So as I said at the top of the video, a lot of people seem to think that XDefiant missed its mark as far as the release date, rather as them having the time as everything approach, or people in the community thinking that it will have to work around Call of Duty release windows. Not only the launch of new Call of Duty games, but new seasons and mid-season updates as well. Two things. I don't think timing matters as much as a lot of people may think when it comes to a good game. Think about when Fortnite was released. No one even knew that Fortnite was going to be what it was then and even what it is today. Fortnite, for the most part, is a pretty good game. Now, I am not comparing XDefiant to Fortnite at this point. That is impossible, considering the fact that XDefiant has yet to be released. My take is a good product will be a good product no matter what quarter it's in and no matter who may or may not be its competitors. I also want to add, and I've said this on the channel before, I will wait even another year or two for this game if that means it is going to be a good playable game. In the current Call of Duty title Modern Warfare 3, we have too many issues such as game crashes, issues joining up on teammates, and just bad servers in a lot of different lobbies. That is not a good gaming experience for most of us, I would assume. And before anyone gets in the comment section and thinks that I'm shitting on Call of Duty, that is absolutely not the case. In a perfect world, I wouldn't be so eager for XDefiant to release. If I felt like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 was delivering how I think it should be delivered, I wouldn't be so eager for XDefiant to release if I felt like Modern Warfare 3 was delivering how I thought it should be delivered. For years, the community has been wanting a good FPS multiplayer experience, and I'm sure majority of us will agree that the Call of Duty franchise has been falling short. That being said, this segues into the next part of the video. Is XDefiant a true Call of Duty competitor? XDefiant is a free-to-play multiplayer first-person shooter using the Snowdrop engine. Many view it as a direct competitor to Call of Duty multiplayer. An open beta for the upcoming game took place in June of 2023 on all 3 platforms. It received mostly positive feedback, with the obvious changes required you'd expect of an early access beta. Primarily, the game focused on playing the way most competitive Call of Duty players want it to play. That means more competitive game modes, maps built for competitive play, and fewer unbalanced items, mines, rockets, etc. The beta didn't accomplish anything other arcade shooters haven't in the past, but it did everything it needed to do pretty well. Even the map pool, which included 14 unique maps back in June, is massive for modern games. Additionally, developer Ubisoft San Francisco may have an ace up its sleeve. Former Call of Duty League professional player Aches is a consultant on the project. Call of Duty developers almost never listen to pro player feedback or take competitive gameplay into account. Focusing on the bigger picture, casual players, who are the vast majority to buy yearly Call of Duty installments, are the primary target. As such, Aches may be the secret sauce behind Ubisoft San Francisco's needs to make XDefiant the competitive Call of Duty game many have wanted for years. So for obvious reasons, XDefiant will be compared to Call of Duty, such as having Aches in the mix, who was a former Call of Duty pro. Something I will say is XDefiant does seem to be doing a lot of things that Call of Duty has not been doing in a long time. For Modern Warfare 3, Activision did seem to start to listen to community feedback a bit more, but could it be because they know XDefiant is starting to surface and now they feel they may actually have some real competition? My guess would be yes, but there is no way to be 100% sure. Anyways, one of the biggest upsides about XDefiant is the talk of no skill-based matchmaking. That is something that the gaming community in general has been pretty upset about, and it has really seemed to ramp up in the last decade or so. SBMM is supposed to protect lower skilled players, but it seems with no SBMM, there is a more variety of players as far as skill, which can subjectively be better for lower skilled players. Maybe I'm just a goofy nigga talking into a microphone though. So that's one thing. Along with that is talk of ranked play. Pretty simple. If you want to play casually, you can play casually. And if one day you feel like flexing your muscles a bit and being more competitive, go ahead and play ranked. It should be that simple. Executive producer over at Ubisoft, Mark Rubin, also confirmed these things. And I'm not gonna go down a rabbit hole as to what XDefiant is doing that Call of Duty isn't. Maybe I can make that another video. But there is talk of input-based matchmaking. Now, as a controller player, or as some of the keyboard and mouse community likes to call us aimbotters or cheaters, whatever buzzword they want to use, I don't care about what input people are using that I'm playing with or against. But it seems to be a problem in the shooter game community, and XDefiant is going to capitalize on that either way. Seems like no matter what, they are aiming to make sure their game is a good experience for everyone. And I have nothing against the K-BAM community, so I live with the fat butt gamer girl who plays mouse and keys, and also one of my day one homies also plays mouse and keys. So I have a couple of you guys really close to me. You guys might just complain a tad bit too much when it comes to controller players. And lastly, it seems that XDefiant is really focusing on being a long-term product, not one that everyone just plays for 7 to 9 months, gets bored with it, and waits for the next title. So once again, XDefiant is inevitably going to be compared to Call of Duty, but ultimately, maybe a hot take, XDefiant's real competition might be games with a similar approach, such as Valorant, another free-to-play FPS game by Riot Games, Apex Legends, or even Fortnite. What I'm getting at here is I think the game may not be in the Call of Duty conversation for long after it launches. Once again, that's just my take. What do you think though? A couple of more updates we've seen earlier this week is XDefiant's Search and Destroy mode is coming after launch. Along with that, XDefiant will have auto sprint, and you'll be able to set the amount of stick deflection required to sprint. So that's dope. Once again, for us controller players, we won't have to be smashing in our L3 buttons and buying a new controller every 3 months. What's your take on XDefiant? And did it miss its mark? Is it gonna fall off shortly after it launches? And do you think it is a true competitor to Call of Duty? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts down below. And if you dug the content, I'll drop 2 more videos for you right here. And once again, consider subscribing so we can hit 1,000 subs before XDefiant launches. Thank you all for your time. All y'all be smooth, and I'm out.